let's prove now on some meters what we've just discussed. We have a couple of cameras set up where we can show the Power Perfect box. We have a inexpensive kilowatt meter that I know many of you are familiar with that's going to show us our volts, our amps, our watts, and our power factor, which is also our sine wave. We have the very famous Stetzer meter that's going to show us electromagnetic fields. We have the green wave meter that's going to show us total harmonic distortion. And we have a current cost meter by Envy that's going to show us total power and equate that into the dollars and cents that someone would spend to run a particular item. Now, we're in Western Montana. We have really cheap power. So this meter is set at 10 cents a kilowatt hour. That's the result that's going to show on the display. You possibly pay more for your electricity than that, so you'll just have to do the math in your own brain on potentially what you pay. Let's go ahead and start up our meters. Immediately we hear a few things. We hear the green wave meter for total harmonic distortion. According to the manufacturers of this meter, this reading should be under 100. And we know we don't want ever more than about 5% total harmonic distortion on our load centers. Why not? Let's talk about that for one brief second. According to the Department of Energy, about 80% of the power that you receive right now is real power. About 20% is apparent power. A great way to give an analogy for this is a glass of beer. When someone gets a glass of beer, you generally get about 80% beer, about 20% foam. Now the foam is there, we've paid for it, but is it really beer? Not really. According to the Department of Energy, most people receive about 80% real power, 20% foam. So that foam now is what makes your laptop hot, what makes your iPhone or computer or TV hot. Those things shouldn't get that warm. They get warm because they're getting that 20% of power that we can't convert into work. So when you lower the total harmonic distortion, increase the quality of your sine wave, you can effectively boost your real power to about 95%. What's that mean? Equate it to the beer. We've now got 95% beer and 5% foam. That does several things. Number one, all of your equipment runs a cooler, happier, healthier life. And number two, your utility costs come down. Really the best of both worlds. So here we go with our demonstration again. Immediately, we hear the total harmonic distortion meter that we talked about, according to the manufacturer, should be under 100. Right now, I'm seeing 4.5 times what should be a healthy amount. I see a reading of about 450 to 470. Next, on our Graham Stetzer meter, we're seeing a display of about 180. Now, we haven't added a load yet. This is simply the electricity that we're getting here in the conference room at Static USA. Let's add a load. Instantly, we can see the effects of a load on several meters. Number one, on our low end meter, voltage, 119.8, we're going for 120. That's actually within an acceptable amount. That will be fine. For your equipment, that will be great. Next, our amp. We have a 5 amp AC Smith American air conditioner motor. It's not a particularly good motor or a bad motor. It's a 5 amp motor, and we can see here it's drawing almost exactly that, 5 amps. We can also see, when we get efficiency, that it's running at about 29%. What's happening for this motor right now, we're only getting about 30% beer, and we're getting about 70% foam. The total power here, if you remember to do the math, 120 volts times 5 amps should be about 600 watts. Well, we're pretty close. We're at 497 total power watts, which is I'll stop moving that, is $1.67 per day at 10 cents a kilowatt hour, which is also about $49 per month. Now, we're going to watch what happens to each of these motors the moment that we engage Static's Power Perfect Box. Let's put it on amps, 4.9, and let's go ahead and add the Power Perfect Box to our load. Now maybe the first thing that you noticed is the sound. Did you hear it? Our amps are now 1.5, down from about 4.8. Our efficiency was from the high 20s, low 30s, into the 90s where we wanted it to be. On our electromagnetic fields meter, we're now down below 50, that level we were looking for. And on our total harmonic distortion meter, we're showing a 99% reduction. Remember, our goal was less than 5% THD. It looks like we've got a 99% reduction on total harmonic distortion. So we know now definitively that this motor running on less amps is going to run a cooler, quieter, healthier life. Our electrical distribution system is now healthy, low electromagnetic fields, low harmonic distortion, and less overall power. You have less overall power, you're moving less power through your house, and your bill will go down. It has to. Some other things that happen, you heard that go back up the minute we turned our Power Perfect box off, didn't you? Something else that happens now is your electronic devices are going to charge more quickly. Things that have a battery are actually DC. Your tablet, your phone, your laptop. These things are going to charge more effectively, more quickly, and more coolly. So, the Power Perfect box, as we've demonstrated, is a complete home energy management system designed to treat all attributes of alternating current. There's one other thing, though, that really makes the magic of the Power Perfect box in our trademark product design. In your home, you actually have 3 pathways. Did you know that? You have a 120 volt pathway from A, half of your outlets, to neutral. You have a 120 volt pathway B, the other half of your outlets, to neutral. You also have your phase-to-phase, your A to B pathway, which is 240 volts. So this is your air conditioner, your range, and your dryer. So in your home, you actually have 3 electrical subsystems. 120 volt A to neutral, half of your outlets. 120 volt B to neutral, the other half of your outlets. And your 240 volt subsystem, which is your air conditioner, your dryer, your range, etc. Inside the Power Perfect box are 3 totally independent electrical systems, each on their own 300 volt circuit board. A 120 volt subsystem for A to neutral, a 120 volt subsystem for B to neutral, and a 240 volt phase-to-phase system for your heavier loads and your 240 volt systems. So, when you treat, when you affect, correct, change for the better, all 7 attributes of alternating current, and you do so on every possible pathway, all attributes, all pathways, that's Power Perfect. That's our product line. That's why nobody else makes the products that we do. We've designed this product over the last 5 years with tremendous amounts of love. As you'll see, we are a UL listed, CSA, FCC, CE, and Made in America product line. We're tremendously proud of this. This composite enclosure that you see is actually polycarbonate or Lexan. Lexan is the best plastic on earth. It's actually the jet windshield material of every American fighter jet. Did you know that? We buy our polycarbonate from Bayer. Sure, the aspirin and the American Aspirin Company that we all know and love. It comes from Spokane, Washington, and is imported weekly, where we shoot our own enclosures at 23,000 PSI. We have a good recycling program, and this product line in this configuration is literally bulletproof. Our screws and brass inserts are also American made. We buy them from Dearborn, Michigan, the same screw manufacturer is often used by Ford Motor Company. Our wire harness is also an American whip. I remember learning in 11th grade that 1/8 the world's copper came from Butte, Montana. An interesting factoid, I don't know if that's still true. I believe that it was true when I was in high school, and this is an American whip from S&K Technologies here in Montana. When people talk about using American products, American manufacturing, and using local manufacturing companies, we don't talk about it. We do it. We take tremendous pride in the product line that we build. We over-engineer it. This product has a 10-year warranty. How much money do you have to save on your utility bill for a product like this to pay for itself many times over the life of the product? We hope that you'll be very happy with our product. If you're thinking about going solar, if you're a solar dealer or a solar customer, these are the very things that most inverters struggle with. They struggle to regulate voltage. They struggle to create a good sine wave. Oftentimes they inadvertently flood the homes with electromagnetic fields and high total harmonic distortion. What's an easier way to affect all attributes on every pathway than the Power Perfect box? I appreciate the time today. I appreciate you being interested in our product and spending a few minutes to educate yourself on the line. I'm B.D. Erickson for SAG. Thank you very much.